Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about some stuff I've been sampling over the past month or so, specifically this discovery set from Celine. I've actually been sampling a lot of stuff this month. I'm proud of myself because it's something that I really enjoy doing, but I had just not been doing much of it for the past few months. So it's been really fun to dig into a bunch of samples, some things I've never tried before, and get a new perspective. I have a huge backlog of things that I want to talk about, but I guess I'll start with these Celine samples because I got it fairly recently and I've really enjoyed trying them out. So today I'm going to talk about four of them that I've given full wears. Those are Parade, Cologne Francaise, Peau Nue, and Dom Paris. Okay, so I want to just start by showing off the full set because I think it's really cool. They're all kind of like tucked into these triangular slots. It's in a sleeve that fits inside of the main sleeve, which is a really nice texture. And I was kind of surprised actually because I was looking for things to sample. I was looking at a bunch of Discovery sets, and previously I believe you could only buy a Celine Discovery set if you got the set of 11 miniatures, which are all like 6 mil, and that was like $400 or something. And so I was really curious about Celine, but I didn't want to splash out $400 on some Splash minis. But lo and behold, I was on the website one night and I found out that you could buy this Discovery set, which is 2 mil samples. I think they're 2 mil. They feel a little bit bigger actually. They might be like 2.5. And so I hopped on it. It was $48 and free shipping. So just an excellent deal. Okay, so the first one that I'll talk about is Parade, which is the first one that I tried in the Discovery set, and it's also my scent of the day today. You'll see that kind of all of the ones that I'm talking about today are the lighter ones from the collection, lighter in tone, I guess. And I've really been drawn to kind of fresher, lighter, softer things lately. They just feel a little bit more peaceful and easy to wear, and I've been finding lately that sometimes when I wear things that are really heavy, they can feel kind of distracting or overwhelming, probably just because it's the holiday season and there's so much going on. Celine gives the notes for Parade as bergamot, neroli, vetiver, musk, and oak moss. So before wearing Parade, I actually watched Rich Mitch's take on all of the Celine fragrances, and he had like a really visceral reaction to Parade. He was like, ugh, it's a bergamusk. And he was really kind of critical of it for that reason. And I get it because, you know, it's a fresh scent that cost over $300. But I really enjoyed this one. Parade is, it is a bergamot forward vetiver based scent, but I think it's really interesting for what it is, and it kind of sets the tone for the style of Celine as a house, I think, because it is bright and sunny, but it also has this very chalky, dry feeling. I really enjoyed wearing it because it kind of gave me what I had hoped to get from something like Chanel No. 19 or Ivoire de Balmain, which are supposed to be these kind of very sharp green galbanum fragrances. And I enjoy them for what they are, but I don't feel that they're particularly wearable for me. They just feel a little bit too retro or dressed up. But I really enjoyed wearing Parade. It's kind of a mix between a freshie and something that's more of a retro-y green chypre feel. In the base and the heart, it gets really, really earthy, mossy. One interesting thing that I wrote in my notes about this one is that although it feels very high-end designer or designer exclusive in feel, it also feels as though it has a lot of naturals in it. The whole line feels as though it has a really high level of quality and attention to detail. But yeah, definitely in this one, the greenness lasts from the top all the way to the bottom. In the top, I get something that's, yeah, it's bergamot-y, but it also reminds me of lime, and the neroli is kind of like so sharp and a little bit metallic that it's a very interesting kind of peppery feeling almost. And then as it dries down, it becomes increasingly like earthy dark green, and there's vetiver and I don't know why I keep coming back to this word chalky, but it's kind of chalky or soapy, mossy. I really enjoyed it. I wouldn't mind having a larger decant of this one. I'll also add that I thought projection on each of these varied a lot, or performance, I should say. So with Parade, I got pretty good projection, I think, starting in the first hour and a half, but then it pretty quickly died down to being pretty close to the skin. But I would say that it stuck with me pretty tenaciously for until I showered it off, really. I was always able to smell it, and it was a very pleasant thing to smell up close. Yeah, so overall, I really enjoyed it. That's Parade by Celine. Okay, so the next one that I tried and the next one that I'm going to talk about is Cologne Francaise. The notes are neroli, fig tree, white orris butter, tree moss, and musk. When I was sampling this set, I thought that Cologne Francaise might stand out a little bit from the others because whereas the others are all very stylish and serious, Cologne Francaise is the only one that's kind of a fruity scent. And so it's almost like the vacation scent from this set. But as I wore it, it started to make more sense in the context of the style of the house. It is fruity, but it has, in the opening with the neroli and the fig, this very like metallic edge. It's very sharp again, very green, almost sappy, but it also has kind of a pepperiness and at the same time a very slight milkiness, which I associate with fig. It's very interesting again in that it's a fresh scent, but it feels like it could be more versatile than that. It's definitely something that I would love to wear to the office. It feels very put together. It feels kind of like Mediterranean vacation, like boats and, I don't know, alfresco dining, south of France kind of deal. It's very, very nice. It reminds me of a much drier Dune Pour Homme by Dior, which is the only fig scent that I currently own. And where Dune Pour Homme has kind of like a floral, sweet tobacco tonka base, here it stays kind of more monotone in that I get kind of a green figginess throughout. And it settles down to something muskier and softer, but still throughout very minerally and just very, very interesting. I didn't expect to like this one, but I did. Cologne Francaise by Celine. The next one that I tried was Le Peau Nue. This was actually one of the ones that I was more excited to try out. I thought the notes sounded really interesting. Celine gives the notes as bergamot, rose absolute, white orris butter, rice powder, and vetiver. So I did really enjoy trying this one out, and it was kind of what I was expecting, which is a very clean, retro makeup powder kind of scent with a strong irisy base. It has this impression to me of being very white and cold, almost like porcelain tile, or it has an image about it which is very much like a vanity, like a very old school 1930s white tiled bathroom with kind of like your makeup and your perfumes on the counter and this cosmetic-y smell, or the smell of bath oils, and it's very evocative. At the same time, it strikes me as being very cool and like in temperature. Like when you look at light bulbs and they have like warm white and cool white, this is definitely like a cool white temperature, which is very interesting. I was with someone when I was testing this, and they said that it smelled to them like baby powder. And I get that a little bit. There's the rosiness, especially in the top. But as it dries down, it becomes increasingly irisy. There's a little bit of earthiness from the vetiver, and there is like a touch of vanilla in the way deep dry down. I found that the longer I wore this, the more I liked it. My problem with it is that I think it's really beautiful, but I don't know that I usually want to smell like this. So my thought was that it kind of felt too retro-y for the office or for like a going out kind of situation. but it also kind of felt too formal for if I was at home alone. The other thing about it that's kind of unique is that I feel like with a lot of powdery scents, you associate them with muskiness, or they're often very musky, and this is not. Um, and I think it's because in our heads we have a connection between like powder and, or at least I do, powder and like concealing body smells, or like in a time before people could shower every day, they'd use powder to like stay fresh. So when I smell a powdery fragrance, I often think of musk as well. But here, it's powdery in a kind of completely removed from humanness way. So it doesn't feel like a very lived in or comfortable fragrance at the same time. Um, and in that way, it's really beautiful, but it also is just not something I'd have a lot of occasion to wear. So I really, really enjoyed testing this one. I think everybody should get their nose on it, but I don't think it's something that I need in my collection. All right, and the last one that I'll talk about, and the last one that I've given a full wear so far, is Dom Paris. I'm going to start by saying I just love the name of this one for some reason. I also think that this is one of the more popular from the collection outside of night clubbing and black tie. The notes on this one are bergamot, coriander seed, laurel blossom, musk, and vanilla. So this one was just kind of weird to me. I didn't know what to expect going into it, but it was, especially in the opening, just kind of bizarre. So there's vanilla in this, obviously, and I'm finding lately that when I'm smelling a vanilla-based scent, when I first spray them on, there's something about them that makes me think of like a bad breath note, like something that's really like skanky and off, or almost like an old perfume that's turned, and it's just for a couple seconds, and it's just with like heavy vanilla perfumes. But I definitely found that with this. So I got that note for just like a few seconds, and then it went into this big like chopped cilantro kind of feeling, where it was like spicy and clean and citrusy, but also very soapy. And I'm not one of those people who gets the soap taste from cilantro, but it was very weird. I got like a very culinary cilantro in the top of this, which made me kind of think of Mexican food or Indian food. So it was a really vibrant, bright opening, but it was just a strange combination of cilantro and vanilla. This one was also, I'll say, the strongest performer of all of the ones that I've tried. And to be fair, I don't think any of them have bad performance at all. I think they all are like very clearly smellable at all times that I was wearing them. I don't think they have huge projection, but I also think that they're the kind of thing that you're able to spray a lot of, kind of to your taste, to get the effect that you want. And I actually really appreciate that. I kind of don't like scents where you have to be careful spraying them because they're so strong. I'd rather like be able to shower in something if I wanted to get the effect that I want. Anyway, but in the heart, Dom Paris kind of turns into this like mildly sweet, green, citrusy vanilla scent. It's really interesting. I don't know that I've smelled anything else quite like it. It stays pretty linear from that point on, and I wore it for probably like a full 8 hours, and in the last 4 hours, I kept thinking to myself that it smelled to me like those sherbet push pops, like the Flintstone push pops that you get when you're a kid, and it's like they're citrusy, fruity, creamy, sweet. I don't know if the creaminess here is from like an orris note, or I don't know, it was just bizarre. It smells very well done, and it smells within the style of Celine, and even in that like sherbet ice cream sense, there's still like a little bit of chalkiness or powderiness. I'm gonna have to come back and try this one again because maybe my nose was off that day. It didn't smell bad. It just kind of befuddled me, and I think being befuddled might be a good thing when it comes to fragrance. I don't know. Anyway, that was my quick, unstructured thoughts on the samples I've tried so far from Celine. Let me know what you've tried from the house so far, what you like, what you don't, and I'll see you on the next video.